Who
Hey
Season
outside
9
world,
finished
Doctor
up.
Who Season
Last
9
night
finished
my
up.
time.
Last
This
night
morning when I
my
actually
time.
watched it.
This morning
Who
when I
knows
actually
about what
watched
your
it.
schedule
Who
is?
knows about
And
what
yes,
your
that's a
schedule
cat
is?
getting into
And yes,
frame
that's a cat getting into
because he
frame
can't let me do anything without
because he
him
can't
being
let me
involved.
do anything without him being involved. So, Season 9. I'll preface by saying, back in the Russell T Davies days, things like Bad Wolf, where there were hints throughout the season, I was intrigued and trying to figure out what was going on and loved to take part in the fan speculation. And part of that's because TWOP was around then, Television Without Pity, and there was a forum and I could interact. Now, there's no forum, but there's also Stephen Moffat. Now, I'm a fan of Moffat's work. I think Coupling is an absolutely brilliant sitcom. I like what he does on Doctor Who, but it's not deep. I either describe it as deeply superficial or superficially deep. Hi, wife. She's cute. It tugs at the emotions. It presents ideas that are heavy, but it never really delves into it. There's a term I brought up on TV Without Pity that I like to claim credit for. I don't actually know if I invented it or not, but as the show has timey-wimey, it also has plotty-waddy, and stuff happens. Best thing to do is lean back, let it happen, follow along as best you can, enjoy that it's an overgrown kids show without losing yourself in the hows and whys. Because otherwise you get things like, well, the Doctor's trapped inside the dial for 4.5 billion years, and the whole drive of the finale episode is he misses Clara so much over this time, when the previous episode we saw, he was living for about a day or two at a time. He would figure out his clues, he'd start to chip away at the wall, he'd die. A new one would be reformed. And on and on and on. A new download was happening every couple days, every few hours, whatever it was. So, it just, plot-wise, it doesn't necessarily make sense. I could supply some fan wank as to, oh, when he found room 12 and he started chipping at the wall and he figured out the clues, he knew what was going on, but it wasn't explained to us. We don't know how he missed her for 4 billion years when he was living for hours at a time. So on that superficial level, Ashilda and Clara off on their long way around to Gallifrey for her to die again permanently. It's superficially cute. It's a cool idea. It's a way you get a couple characters shuffled off until they're needed again. That way they're not always popping up, or you can't always say, well, why doesn't he go to character X or character Y to fix this or be involved in this or help with this, because they're off doing their thing in their own TARDIS, which superficially cool. I'm sure Big Finish loves it because there's a whole new series of spin-offs they can do in their audiobooks and their novels and whatever else the licensing department's wetting themselves over this morning. But why? Why the diner? Why dress as a waitress? Why out in the desert? Maybe next season we'll have some explanation. Maybe something in the Christmas show will have some explanation. But watching it, it was fun to watch, but the more I think about it, the why just isn't there. Why did she pretend to be a waitress? Why did they pick this place he'd been before as a simulation? Why? Anything. I don't know. It makes no sense to me. Maybe smarter people have figured it out, but again, we end up with this season where it's a fun watch. It tugs the right emotional strings. It provides the right action, the right fears, the right who knows what, as long as you don't think too deeply. My notes about what I wanted to talk about, I kind of belabor the same point. Like on Gallifrey, why did he act the way he did and just throw people off and say my planet? And for the short-term character arc, it fit with where they wanted him to be. But something like Tennant and the Waters of Mars really made that point so much better, where he was trying to throw his weight around, trying to be the Doctor on his own who had lost it. In a lot of ways, I feel like we're covering the same material without expanding the character more. And that may be a limitation of the character. That they can't delve too much into his backstory. They can't make lasting changes into the Doctor because he's got to keep being around for the next 50 years. It's enjoyable, but I'm just left where I usually am at the end of a season. I've enjoyed it. wasn't the best, wasn't the worst. I look forward to what's to come, but I'm not so wowed that it dominates my thoughts. That sounds harsher than I mean to be because it was enjoyable fluff, but I really feel like it's just become enjoyable fluff and I want it to be more. So that's my thoughts on the season 9 finale. I hope other people enjoyed it. I hope the show keeps coming back and keeps improving. But let me know in the comments what you thought. I look forward to hopefully some thumbs up, hopefully some subscriptions, hopefully more from the rest of you, including her. Thanks, everyone.